Shalom, my aunt Hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the broadcast. We're so pleased that you have joined us today, beloved. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into this most important discussion. As you all know, there is a new president of the United States. And I'm ready for us to discuss that. But just before we do, let's do our little housekeeping. Would you help me do the housekeeping today? First of all, as you come in, please come in giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. You can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Also, beloved, looks like there's extra light there. Also, beloved, we want you to know that we have a store at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. You can get all types of pro, black, especially female information there, okay? So we want you to be sure to check that out when you get a chance. All right, beloved. Now, I want you to also know about, where is it here? Here it is. I also want you to know about an upcoming WOW conference. So get ready to mark your calendars. I don't know if there's a moderator in the chat or not, but the website is womenofwealthweekend.com. That's womenofwealthweekend.com. That's the website. This WOW conference, Women of Wealth Weekend, is Saturday, January 30th through the 31st. So the end of this month, the last Saturday and Sunday of this month, from 10 to 3 p.m. Eastern. This WOW conference is a massive women's only event featuring successful queens in business, money, and asset protection. It's talking about the fact that we're going to take the virtual stage. It's going to be several of us. I'm going to be among those. I'll give you more details as time permits. But meanwhile, it's so many unbelievably amazing sisters, family. This is the time for us to be discussing wealth. And I'm going to explain a little bit more now because I want us to talk about some actionable things that we need to do in the wake of this changing of power. Again, the website is womenofwealthweekend.com. That's womenofwealthweekend.com. Be sure to check it out. All of the information is there. Again, you don't want to delay. I'm going to be there as well. I'm so excited about that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share, okay? I don't want you to miss this upcoming conference. Now let's get ready to get into the goings on from today's event. Let's get ready to get into my analysis of the inauguration of Joseph Biden Jr. Now, to be sure, dear family, and I'm going to read you a couple of tweets that I put out earlier today, and It's already caused a little bit of a brouhaha and a couple of folks not too pleased, perhaps with some of what I said on some of my tweets. This is important that we discuss a couple of the things that I tweeted out. Shout out to my Instagram family. Instagram, I want you to get ready to come on over shortly to flynewbeingqueentv.com because I'm certainly going to need to use this device here momentarily. Instagram, I want you to get ready to come on over to flynewbeingqueentv.com because I'm going to need to use this device momentarily. As you all know, and I didn't do a big, huge post about this, but I just posted a couple of tweets and discussed that I mentioned that I was going to be discussing the inaugural events from today. And you know, I always do it with the perspective of what this has to do with our people, with Black people. Yes? Now watch this. I titled today's show just now that there has never been, in lieu of this inauguration, everybody's talking about the different historical elements to this inauguration. One of the things that I have observed, not just now, but the moment we learned that Joe Biden was going to be the next president of the United States, I was probably one of the first to point this out early on, and then I started to see others point this out as well. But I said a long time ago that there has never been a descendant of American slaves that has ascended to the presidency or become vice president. Now I'm going to say this again. Now, before you jump out there with your misunderstanding, before you start to give your opinion out loud, somebody talk Black to me. I want you to meditate on this word for just about 10 seconds. Somebody say comprehension. Comprehension. Shout out to my Instagram family. Instagram, don't forget, I want you to get ready to come on over Instagram to flynewbeingqueentv.com. I see some of your wonderful compliments, Instagram. Thank you so much. Black family, by the way, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Thumbs up, like, and share. It's very important that you share, and like, because these are things that when you do that and you engage, you cause other folk to be drawn into the broadcast. I want as many people as possible to hear what I have to say because I know what I have to say is important. And the perspective I'm giving is not going to be the one that mainstream corporate media is giving. That's very important. Now, I think I just used the word a minute ago, comprehension. Now, my computer is real small for some reason, so I'm having a hard time seeing what y'all are saying, but it looks like I'm seeing people put the word comprehension in the chat, and that's what I'm talking about. Somebody talk Black to me. Now, I've got my purple on today for royalty. Somebody talk Black to me, painted my nails and everything there. And of course, we have the gavel because this is the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. I don't know nothing about no other shows and stuff. I'm just saying that we started it here is all I know because I've been having the gavel revelation for about 15 years, if not longer. And I brought it to at least 15 years. And I brought it to this platform and some of the other large platforms that I'm on. Somebody talk Black to me. And this color, this inaugural address that I'm giving to the Black family has to do with what this changing of power in America has to do with us. I want you all to know that separate and aside from what's going on at 1600 Pennsylvania, I want you to understand that for the Black man and the Black woman in America, there is new momentum for the changing of the guards. There is new momentum to push forward our agenda. This is not just the time for us to bellyache. I see y'all's purple hearts. That's so sweet. This is the time for us to begin to strategize and to engage the big black brain so that we can leverage this moment, so that we can leverage this administration, so that we can push forward as much as possible the agenda of descendants of American slaves. I said DOAS. I got the initials right. Descendants of American slaves. I know some other folk in media also use Foundational Black Americans, FBA. Listen, I'm going to need you to engage your comprehension. When you share this broadcast, you can copy the link at the bottom of your screen, copy the link and paste it on your social media platforms and tell them to come on over because Vicky is getting ready to give a very brief war briefing. I've got to do my Club Vicky tonight, my metaphysical class tonight, so I can't be here all night long. Somebody talk black to me because I got to get ready. Even though I've already been meditating on that, I like to calm my spirit before I get prepared for that. Plus, I got medical stuff to do. Before and after, DOAS, descendants of American slaves. Now, comprehension. Somebody say comprehension. Think deeply and specifically about each of the words that I'm using, context of what I'm using, so that you don't jump to a conclusion and misunderstand what I'm trying to say. Now, what we know, and nobody has done a more exhaustive job exposing the fact that Joe Biden has an extreme white supremacist history. But now that he is president of the United States, the question becomes, what are we going to do to leverage his administration on behalf of black folk in America? The question becomes, how are we going to use this to benefit us? Is that right? Now watch this. This purple is about the royalty and the ascendancy of black folk. And it's not because of Kamala Harris, God, today. It's not because of the other black looking people that Joe Biden has appointed to be a part of his administration. Watch this, under duress. Y'all play too much. Don't get me to start swinging these curly braids this early in the broadcast. Even though I did say it's going to be a brief war briefing, didn't I? This is my inaugural address. Thumbs up, like, and share. Listen. Watch this. I want you to know, black family, that we are in our finest hour. And the day looks dark for white America, as it should, because white America's day of judgment is becoming more and more clear that it's here. Now, let me go back to the word comprehension. Why did I say we're going to have to use some comprehension here? Because when I make the statement that this inauguration today and all the historical inaugural points that you guys claim is going on. So many people talking about, oh, it's so historic, all of these things, the first black woman vice president. And well, let me tell you something. They was talking about Obama's there. They was bragging about how good Michelle Obama was looking. And Michelle Obama is a gorgeous lady. I'm a girl. Now, she did, the little quick thing I saw her, she did look good and stuff. But let's not get distracted. Somebody talk black to me. We're a girl. Thank you, those of you that are giving. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you for supporting black media. Watch this. Listen. 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 There has never been a descendant of American slaves as president or vice president. Are you trying to say Obama ain't black? Somebody put on my Instagram page today, People was going back and forth literally for a couple of hours on my Instagram page. I didn't even look at all them crazy arguments, some of them. Soon as I posted something on Twitter this morning, a lady was tripping. Lady told me she was from the Caribbean. I'm going to read you the tweet. And she told me I was being divisive. She said, now ain't the time to be divisive and all this other kind of stuff. And I just had to, Lord have mercy. I had to just to correct the sister. Somebody said comprehension. I said, somebody said comprehension. Now listen, when I say that there has never been a descendant of American slaves, this is not the time for you to sit there and tell me that you from the Caribbean and your people was in bondage too. Let me hit the gavel. Somebody talk black to me. This ain't the time for that. Let's go over this again, class. I got to teach. Let's go over this again, class. What did I say? What did I say? The headline was, there has never been what kind? There has never been a what? A descendant of what? America. There's never been a descendant of America. There's never been a descendant of America. There's never been a descendant of America. Y'all sing with me the America part. America. What region am I talking about? America. Now, see, I got to hit that part hard because that's the part of the comprehension that people skip it. Vicky, why is Vicky so dramatic on certain things? Because I got to help you understand, and people learn in different kinds of ways. You see how I punch that? You see how that's important, that little phrase, America? Can I get some flags in the chat? Can I get some American flags in the chat? I don't know why y'all laughing at me. Thumbs up, like and share, family. Slam that thumbs up button. I won't be here all day long, but I'm going to be strong to the best of my ability. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Let's say it again. There has never, repeat after me, class, wherever you at. There has never been a descendant. Let's get ready to hit this note. Where my altos? Where my soprano? Y'all know I'm dealing with a medical issue on top of medical issue with my voice. So I'm going to need y'all to help me hit this note. Where my sopranos? Where my bass? Y'all ready? There has never been a descendant of what kind of slave? America. Can't y'all hear somebody bamming the piano and then hit the guitar and then hit the bass at the same time? Imagine it all being hit at the same time so we can put emphasis on it. I'm trying to program your subconscious because some of y'all want to run away, misunderstanding, and try to tell me something here. I'm trying to help you. This is my topic. I'm a thinker. Don't get the purple and the curly braids and the flamboyant personality and color confused. There has never been a descendant of America slaves as president or vice president. Now this is going to help the rest of you. And if it don't help you, it's too bad. Just going to be a division. Like my sister said on Twitter, this one lady, there, you guys got to understand. Let me say this real quick. Thumbs up, like, and share. Somebody said, I needed you today. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. I'm glad you needed me, baby. I needed you right back, beloved. Thumbs up, like, and share. Y'all, I told you, hit that thumbs up button, like, and share. Because I'm not going to be here long. Watch this. Watch this, watch this. Watch this. Lady with the curly braids. Watch this. The inventors of this project called America, the creators of this project called America, was built by Black American slaves. those who were enslaved. The burden bearers of the country that Joe Biden was referring to today as the greatest nation. Joe Biden said that democracy prevailed. Joe Biden talked about all of the, not all of them, but he mentioned quite a few predecessors and the glory that America once was and the glory that he's trying to restore the soul of America. He wouldn't even get a chance to talk about that if we didn't bring it into existence. There was a people. God, today, Instagram, come on over. Instagram, come on over to flynubianqueentv.com. Don't delay Instagram. Y'all in here heavy on my Instagram page. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram, family, at Vicky X Dillard. Instagram, come on over to flynubianqueentv.com because I'm going to need to use this device. Let me help y'all real quick. For you come telling me you being divisive and we all brothers and sisters and people of the diaspora. Slowness. I'm a woman of the world. I love my brothers and sisters around the world. But this is a specific thing that we need to discuss right now. And I'm going to need intelligent Black people that's not so emotionally wrapped to listen to what I'm saying. There is going to be a necessary division amongst Black folk in America. If I'm not supposed to ride with you, I'm not trying to convince you. Somebody talk Black to me. I've given you the revelation. I reminded you of the principle that's written in scripture where the God was getting ready to take completely off of his planet all of the children of Israel that it was said that he delivered. Of course, I've taught you that that's prophetically speaking. Because we're the only people that ever existed in America that fits the description of a people that's been in bondage for over 400 years. Black folk in America, there's no other people. The children of Israel is you. You're styled in scripture under symbolic language. It is my belief, and I accept some of the teachings that says that most of scripture is prophetic. Only a quarter of it, I believe, or a small portion of it is actually historical. Yes, there are historical elements to scripture, but I believe the majority of scripture is prophetic, which means it's just now coming to pass. But the scripture speaks in symbols, it speaks in algorithm. The God makes clear that the people that he's trying to deliver after 400 years, they start to complain against those that came to deliver them from Egypt, right? And God said, you know what? Since they sit here tripping with y'all, and since they're saying that it would have been better for them to have died in Egypt, God says, well, why don't I just grant their request and just kill them? I didn't say it, God, it's in the book. It's written. It's written prophetically in scripture that the God was going to get rid of them. So some of you all that say it's time for us to come together, this ain't the time for division. Slowness, you are the promised land reject. I'm actually going into the promised land. Somebody talk Black to me. Just want to throw that principle out there. There's a necessary division that's going to happen. Watch this. Watch this. All right, Instagram. I'll see you on flynubianqueentv.com. Now watch this. Let me finish posting this real quick on Instagram. While I'm doing that, family, on the count of three. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. Share, 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 and like. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Like and share, family. All right, let's go. Thank you so much. Thumbs up, like and share. Now let me get on to it. Watch this. Watch this. There has never been a descendant of American slave as president or vice president. Yes, Barack Obama father was Black. His father was also Kenyan and his mother was white, right? Obama does not have the blood of slaves or the blood of the builders of this nation. And you can tell that just in his swag or the lack of swag and in how he moves and his disconnect and his failure to be faithful to the black men and the black woman of America to do anything for us. You can sense that. You can tell that about him. Which is why black leaders were objecting to a lot of the ways he was disrespecting us even before he became president. Kamala Harris' mother is Indian and her father is Jamaican. When you follow their story, when you study them, you'll find that her folks were not broke down poor folk. In fact, I believe some of the research on her father's side is actually they were slaveholders or come from blood that was slaveholders. On her mother's side in India, when you study the Indian culture and the Indian people, you will find that they have a caste system, a colorism system, in other words, in India. Kamala's folks came here not because they were fleeing some nation. They were trying to come get benefits from America, education. And they were already considered in some ways to be part of the upper echelon, not necessarily the absolute top, but part of the upper echelon in Indian society. So they came here to really eat off of the goods and the work and the labor of foundational black Americans. Now, why, Vicky, why even make the distinction? Why say then that there's never been a descendant of American slaves if we're just all black and so forth? Shout out to you, Lisa. Thank you for being the great queen you truly are. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words. Listen, the distinction needs to be made because there is a pattern of foreigners sometimes coming in or people that don't have direct blood in America where they have a tendency to sell us out. They have a tendency to prioritize everybody else but us. Are y'all listening to me today? They too often have a tendency to prioritize everybody but us. And because they don't have that connection with the soil and the killing fields of America. Watch this. Because they don't have that unique spiritual connection. This is a benefit to a lot of the white supremacists and white folk in powerful places in America, which is why they often have a tendency to elevate the Kamalas and the Barats of the world. They know that people that don't have a deep understanding of the hell that we've endured in this country like no other people have ever experienced before, they know that they'll be more easily willing to sell us out or to do the bidding and prioritize America. They know that they'll be willing to shut their eyes to black suffering and get up there and talk about how great America still is and how we just need to believe again and how we need to get together and reconcile. Let me give you my prophetic inaugural address today, black family. And I'm going to start by reading to you a tweet that I put out today. I'm quoting myself today. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, like and share. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't hit that thumbs up button and share button, for those of you that are watching us on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, or if you're watching us on one of our YouTube affiliates, if you're watching us on one of our other affiliate networks that's not on YouTube, please like, please share, please follow, and please engage. Would you do that? Thank you so very much. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Like, share, share, share. You can follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky, my last name first. Vicki is how you spell my name. Dillard Vicky. Look at this. This is what I tweeted this morning. Watch this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. I keep saying that because that draws other folk into the broadcast. It puts us on their timeline and makes them more likely to come on over, and they need to hear what I have to say today. Listen. I tweeted this today. I said, I love all people. I love how people skip that part whenever I say that. I said, I love all people, but I'm first a voice and embodiment of the Black man and woman who invented the United States of America. I said, as their daughter, I cannot help but to say again, because I said this months ago, there has never been a descendant of American slaves that was president or vice president. I put hashtag not Obama or Kamala. You do know that when Kamala was prosecutor, attorney general, she was one of the most anti-Black politicians that existed very likely in California. So much so that she bragged about implementing a policy of truancy to arrest the parents of disproportionately Black children if their child committed truancy or missed 1 or 2 days of school. She wasn't continuing that policy. I said she was the one that initiated that policy against even her staff suggestion. Obama came out in his interview, right? Obama came out in his interview with Ta-Nehisi Coates. And of course, we know even before then, when he was on the debate stage, before he became president, remember, Obama explicitly said what he was not going to do for Black folks specific to reparations. He came out boldly against reparations before he was president. And you guys was so excited to vote for him in record numbers. After he specifically came out and said no to reparations, right? Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. We know Kamala, again, another non-descendant of American slaves. See, neither Obama or Kamala had any of that blood in them. Remember what she said?
Black people.
Do you remember what she said?
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will
notice what she said. Give folks that's making under $100,000 a tax credit. People that make under $100,000, under $100,000, those people include white people, brown people, red people, yellow people. The question was reparations specifically for Black people. Kamala pivoted and started talking about what she was going to do for everybody else. If Black folk are already in a deficit, if we've already been cheating, stolen, raped, robbed, sodomized, destroyed, and traumatized, and you all benefited from that, you continue to benefit from that, you've not paid your debt. You telling us you gonna do something for everybody else too is you spitting and defecating in our face.
And uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families.
Notice, the lady said by default. In other words, you are committing to doing nothing what? Specific for Black people. Now, I just reminded you how Obama, who became president, y'all are so excited about Kamala being a Black woman, you say, becoming the first VP. How historic that is. I'm not sure how that's a tangible. I'm not sure how that's substantive, because you had a whole Black man for dang near a decade that did absolutely nothing for you. He leveled up the gays. He leveled up the immigrants. He leveled up white women. He leveled up white men. You got left behind with a Black face in the White House, which is why they allowed him to ascend to that space and place anyway. Somebody talk Black to me. Everybody slam that thumbs up button.
It's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at...
Notice how she slick said no right there. She's going to be real explicit in a minute. But when the lady rephrased and said, so there's not a specific policy, Kamala says no.
The reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that.
Let's be clear about this. I don't want everybody to get no benefit from something that's supposed to be just for me. See, Black folks, you got to talk like this. You got to come like this. Listen to her funny looking self. She seemed like she sound deep, right? What did you say, girl? What did you say, Madam Vice President? I ain't gonna say girl. What did you say, Madam Vice President?
Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society.
We don't want it to benefit all of society. Did all of society bear the whip? I said, did all of society bear the whip? Did all of society deal with Jim Crow? Did all of society deal with convict leasing? Did all of society deal with the injustice of sharecropping? Did all of society deal with the specific policies from Nixon, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, to where we know we were specifically targeted with the crack laws, specifically targeted with the prison industrial complex? Nobody else experienced that. So what we look like. See, the reason why Kamala said that in the face of a question about what is she going to do specific for Black people, she knows that we have been stupid enough for so many years to promote the interest of everybody else. She knows that we being good slaves would think we're being moral and righteous by saying, yeah, it's going to benefit everybody else. What I look like caring about whether or not reparations is going to benefit the rest of the world. The rest of the world didn't build America. If you work 60 hours in a week. And let's say you're an essential worker and you work at a Kroger store. As an essential worker, you work 60 hours a week. Let's say they paid you weekly. I know back in the day when I used to work for a Kroger chain, they used to pay weekly. I don't know what they do now, though. Somebody talk black to me. And you work 60 hours. Week comes and you're supposed to get your check, let's say on a Thursday. HR department tells you they done chopped up your check and split it between you and the cashier, two other cashiers, and a with some people that go out to get the cards, a cart boy, cart girl. Let's just say you just worked 60 hours last week. It's time for you to get your check this week. You look at your check is $300. You say, whoa, wait. My check supposed to be more than double this. They said, oh, well, we decided to cut up your check and split it with these two cashiers over here and the boy that goes out to get the cards. You said, excuse me, I beg your pardon. What you look like giving my check for my 60 hours of work and splitting it up with two cashiers and the boy that go out to get the cards. Do you guys understand that they've normalized stupidity and got you to buy into it? That's what they're doing to us, telling you did the work. But they telling you they're chopping up your check to benefit two cashiers and the boy go get the buggies, the cards. How would you respond in that situation is what I want to know. Family, how would you respond in a situation where you know you just, as an essential worker in a grocery store, you just worked 60 hours last week? Shout out to you, Black Mama, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Keep bringing the fire, Queen Vicky. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words and your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Always a faithful supporter of the network and me. I thank you so much, dear sister. Thumbs up, family. Listen, that's what America is doing. America knows you're the only one that did the work that built the country. She knows that the money that she's divvying up and distributing is all yours. But she's giving it to everybody else but you. And got the nerve to expect you to be happy with it. Keep listening. I want you to listen to the last part of Kamala. Just before I do, don't forget, family, we're really promoting the end of this month, the Women of Wealth Weekend. I'm so glad to be one of the speakers, one of the keynotes at the Women of Wealth Weekend. There's going to be several of the other queens. This is going to be January 30th, Saturday, January 30th, and Sunday, January 31st, family. Women of Wealth Weekend, you don't want to miss it. It's a massive women's only event featuring successful queens in business, money, and asset protection. I'm so excited, family. It's going to be amazing, women. You don't want to miss it. And because of what's happening right now with the changing of the gods in America, with this Joe Biden, and now it's President Donald Trump out, what does this signify? What does this mean for Black folk? There could be no better time than to join. So go now to womenofwealthweekend.com. Womenofwealthweekend.com. You all may not be able to put the .com in the chat, but just put in Women of Wealth Weekend, and you just know to go to .com, okay? Sisters, let me see you there. Now watch this. Again, I have to remind you, she was specifically asked about reparations for Black people. I'm going to make a point here, and I'm going further in a minute.
Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
She said, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to do something that benefits only Black people. You already know Joe Biden is against reparations. You know that Obama was against reparations. Now, the reason why I specifically wanted to point out the reality that we've never had a descendant of American slaves, when you think about some of our ancestors and what they endured in building this country, the wealth and the power that America enjoys because of the price that they paid with their very blood. Don't you guys find it interesting that America was more willing to embrace foreigners over you? And is there a reason behind why they did it? That's my point. My point is, this was no Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey had to leave Jamaica because the Jamaican people, according to Marcus Garvey, weren't acting right. They didn't understand. Their finger was not on the pulse of white supremacy and what could be done for Black America. So Marcus Garvey had to leave. And get with the people that understood it in America. So before people love to say, well, Marcus Garvey was a foreigner, but guess what? They made sure that after the Marcus Garvey types, they said, we got to make sure that we don't never have another revolutionary come here to be in alliance with Black folk in America. So now they vet y'all before you come here to make sure that you're good, a good community member. Did you catch that? Not a part of the community, but they wanted to make sure that you would be a part of the community. This is not for us to get upset about other peoples of the world. I want to show you something about America, that America would rather have an Indian native and Barack Obama, who's not a descendant of American slaves. They would feel more comfortable elevating them, but never a son or daughter from the killing fields of America. So people that come talking to me like this, sister, about she from the Caribbean, what are you talking about? I love my people from all over the world. But if you are a just person, don't you think that that's something? There's a reason. They know that someone that's a descendant of American slaves has a different energy about them, a different pro-Blackness about them. They would be more likely to be uncompromising. They would be more likely to push for a true reparations bill to ascend to such high places in America. We've got our own people here that we certainly have to check and deal with. But what you look like coming from a foreign place collaborating. You left your country. You didn't build up your country and stick and hang on in there like we did. And look at this white supremacist devil in the face and fight him 500 years later. Well, y'all got y'all own coons in America too. Well, we still in America though. Plus, we check ours here. Plus, they've been under the programming and condition of our opening enemies for 500 years. You don't get to come here from a foreign place and leave your place in shambles and then come here. Somebody talk Black to me. That's a difference. Let me make a couple of other points. That was my tweet earlier, right? Watch this. That was one of my tweets earlier. Thumbs up, family. Like and share. Watch this. But I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to this other tweet I put up. I said that the changing of the gods takes on new momentum today. I'm not simply speaking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Black man and woman rise. Many of us were disgusted with some of our people for supporting Joe Biden without him promising reparations, without promising specific concessions for Black people. But now that we're here, we've got to still figure out an intelligent and strategic and tactical way that we're going to push our agenda. And right now is the best time for us to say, since you Democrats are controlling all of the major branches of government now, since Joe Biden is sitting up there talking about white supremacy and you are one of the chief white supremacists, since we have Black media, since many of our people are waking up and becoming conscious, this is time for you all now. Those Black senators that you put in office, that Black senator single that you put in office, those Black faces that's in high places that Joe Biden picked under pressure and under duress. Al Sharpton is still on MSNBC, right? Joy Reid is on MSNBC. Don Lemonade is still on CNN. And some of the other Black looking people on these different major white networks, right? This is the time for us to expose them all. Not just talk about them and dog them out. This is a chance for us to say that since you guys are claiming that we're the ones that saved you and you so worried about restoring the soul of America, this is the time for us to be unrelenting in our demands for reparations, y'all. This is the time to be unrelenting in our demand that Lily White Joe Biden and Kamala Harris make it their business and their policy and their push to punish, not hold accountable, but to punish the white supremacist. This is our time to hold accountable all of your so-called Black street politician people, Black Lives Matter folk, all of them that said they were so down for the people and they said they were so down, but still voted for Joe. This is the time to keep them on blast. This is a time to hold Reverend Al Sharpton, NAACP, Urban League, and any of the rest of the Bones and Biscuits accountable for any small shucking and jiving. If they really finna sneeze and it look like that they finna start shucking, somebody talk Black to me, we're gonna call it out. I told this sister that was on Twitter that said this ain't the time to be divisive, talking about her people are from Caribbean and all that. I said, lady, ma'am, I said, if me wanting my ancestors to be honored makes you feel disrespected, I asked her, I said, what's wrong with you? Because I'm saying that our ancestors who shed blood, who were raped, who were literally ripped, bodies were ripped in two, who were crucified, who were burned at the stake, who had to bear the seed of their rapers, which was that white supremacists, and nurture their children, work sun up to sundown, endure every form of injustice and all manner of wickedness. If there's something, if you get offended when I say they should be honored, we as their children should get what we deserve, and you get mad, I said, what's wrong with you? I told her, you've entirely missed my point. And after that, she says, yes, I must have missed your point. I said, yes, you missed the point. If you are getting in your feelings about me saying that our ancestors need to be respected and honored now, we as their descendants need to be honored. And any other groups no, my Black brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and throughout Africa, you all should be saying the same thing I'm saying, right? Isn't that the just and right thing to do? You sound like our open enemy, saying that it's divisive. I said descendants of American slaves. It's our time. I can still be a loving woman of the world and love the diaspora and love my Black family all across the water. And I do. They're some of my biggest fans and supporters, and I'm their biggest fans. But this is a right and just justice claim. And it would seem to me, if you're going to be a true ally, you would stand with us and demand the same. But let me say this. Thumbs up, like, and share, family. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard and follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. Listen. How many of you all remember the scripture that says, the first shall be last and the last shall be first? That's the times that we're in. So when people get upset with me, when I say about prioritizing Black folk issues, what about you? It's written, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. It's just our time. And we look at you who are in your feelings and say, you would disagree with that? The people who were burned at the stakes, whose bodies were ripped in two, whose genitals, whose phallus was chopped off, whose toes and fingers were passed around as souvenirs. Bodies were slow roasted and barbecued. Bodies literally was eaten by some of these white supremacists. You would have a problem with me making the demand? So be it. Don't ever forget that this is not just about you. The moment you feel that you're about to compromise even a little bit, remember the smoke. Remember the fire. That was the flesh of your ancestors burning. The moment you get a little nervous about disappointing some modern white supremacist, and the moment you feel the need to back down off of our full-fledged justice claim, hear your grandmother screams. Hear your father being buck-broken. See your sisters and your uncles degendered. See and remember that it was the Miss Anns that also set up the Black woman to be raped by both white men and other enslaved Black men. Remember that the phrase that some of you love to use when you call somebody a mother effer, that it has its connection in slavery, because the slave masters would make a male child sleep with their own mother. And in some instances, they would blindfold the man or the woman so that they would know that they were sleeping with their own family. The moment you start to make this about you, and the moment you think, well, I make 6 figures, I live in a pretty nice house, I got a pretty good job, so I don't really need reparations. Remember, it's not just about you. It's about them. With your selfish self. What I'm doing, I don't really shut up. There are stories of white supremacist tactics that shoved the bodies of some of our people in these wine barrel type things. And there were stakes on the inside, pointy stakes on the inside of the barrel, and they would roll them down the hill. You've already read some of the history that they didn't teach you in school when they said that they were tar and feather them. Some were placed between two beasts. They were tied between two beasts, and the beast would go in the opposite direction and rip the body apart. This ain't even about you. So for some of you that were watching the inauguration today, and yesterday when you saw Yolanda Adams hit that note, singing hallelujah, and my sister can sing. She's anointed, she's moving. She's gloriously beautiful. While I would never disrespect any of the people that were lost by this COVID pandemic that Donald Trump helped to exacerbate by lying, and his incompetent government and white supremacy across the globe and the globe and the powers that shouldn't be making mischief in more ways than I can say. Today, when y'all heard Garth Brooks up there singing Amazing Grace, I'm glad it was a white man that was singing it this time. Some of you got so excited. You felt good and emotional, and it's a part of the human experience because Black folks, we're actually human beings. But before you get too carried away, I want you to know that all of the fanfare, all of the bells and whistles were meant to rock you to sleep. What you saw was meant to strictly and solely appeal to your emotions that you might forget how demonic white supremacy is and give them one more chance to do nothing for you. Today's inauguration was a lullaby. It played on the heartstrings of Black folk in America. You must understand that you must not get carried away and wrapped in a moment that was simply done to make you forget what you experienced. The attack on the Capitol, the impetus for the attack on the Capitol was about Black people. Period. The Civil War, y'all know I've been tweeting about the new Civil War. I've been saying that for a while now. This new Civil War is white folks fighting like they always do, North and South. Was it over slavery? Yes. But it wasn't over slavery because the North truly wanted it to end. It was over slavery between the North and the South because the North was jealous of the political power and the financial wealth of the South because of slavery. And these white supremacists are fighting each other openly because one of them thinks that the other one is taking too long to put Black folk in their place. The other white supremacist is a white supremacist. They just believe in leveraging and getting a bigger bag by being more careful and not so explicit about their white supremacy. It's still about you. It's always been about you. And so my thing I want you to keep in mind, thumbs up, like and share, family. Thumbs up, like and share. By the way, family, don't miss my show tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on FlyToBeQueenTV.com, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to you, Michelle. Looks like we got one moderator that just came in. I ain't seen none the whole show, but welcome, Michelle. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky. Listen, here are a few things that I want you to keep in mind before I go. Now is our time, Black family. This shifting and the changing of the guards in America is a signal for your own power that's about to gain more momentum. I saw somebody tweet out some bone and biscuit. They tweeted out something about the fact that Kamala's position or something like that is signals, in the other black folks that's in Biden's administration. Somebody said this signals new power for black people. You done lost your peanut mind. If it's even a nut, you're a wally walnut. You are a wally walnut. If you think that being within the system of Egypt is a signal for black power. Again, we had a whole black president. Somebody talk black to me. Did you forget that? I said we had a whole black president. Let me tell you what this is about. White America is simply like the bloodsuckers that white supremacy is. They're bloodsuckers. So they're sucking on your emotional, the moral consciousness of black America. That's the better way to say it. Shout out to you, Divine Empress, for your gift. Thank you for teaching, Queen Vicky. Much love. The thing is moving so fast. I missed the rest of it, but I bless your gift 1,000-fold, and thank you for your kind words. Listen, white America, when they keep saying racial strife, I hate when they say stuff like racial strife, because racial strife implies that there's two sides that's opposing each other. All this is white people. Black family, don't let people get away with saying stuff. There's racial animus in America. There's racial strife in America. No, it's not. All this is white people's doing. You not explicitly saying that means you are not holding the perpetrators accountable for 500 years of diabolical activity. This is not racial strife. This is racism. This is white supremacy. And it's coming from only one side. It was y'all out there acting a fool. It was y'all out there trying to assassinate the vice president, looking for Nancy Pelosi, finna take some more people hostage. Somebody talk black to me. Black folk wasn't doing none of that. Somebody said we didn't do none of that. Shout out to you, sis, that said, bring it, queen. I can't see your name. Shout out to you. Was it Michelle? You always keep things in perspective, sis. Thank you. Yes. I bless all of your gifts 1,000-fold. Thank you for supporting black media. Listen. Be clear. This is not racial animus, racial strife. This is anti-black racism. Repeat after me. This is anti-black racism. Repeat after me. This is white supremacy. Why am I making that point? Because you see Joe Biden telling us, all of us got to make this work. Let me hit the gavel. Alert! 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 Black folk ain't got to do nothing. I'm going to say it again. Black folk, this is my Mississippi, this is from the dictionary. I know I should say, black folks don't have to do anything. No, black folk ain't got to do nothing. We've been doing everything. And you, white supremacists, want us to do what we've always done. What is that, Vicky? Save y'all from yourself. No, and some no. No, and some no. We staying out of this white on white crime, this white on white beef. We're building in the pandemic. We're preparing sis, for January 30th and January 31st for the Women of Wealth Weekend.com. Go there, sign up, because we're going to be having a WOW conference, which is a massive women's only event featuring successful queens in business, money, and asset protection. Now we building because we getting ready to rule, because this is a changing of the gods. The first shall be last. Somebody say that's us. The last shall be first. That's us. The scripture in its entirety. The first shall be last. We ain't never been first. And the last shall be first. That's us. That's our time. We're building. See, if you're getting ready to rule, we're focusing on business, right? We're focusing on educating our own babies. We're focusing on supporting other Black businesses. We're focusing on making our neighborhoods safe and decent places to live. These are specific things that some of our Black elders, like Minister Farrakhan, have taught. I'm going to be speaking more in the future on this Powernomics. Dr. Clark Anderson, where he gives specific strategies, his book Powernomics, the national plan to empower Black America. No, baby, we focusing on us. White people want us to help save them from themselves. They're pulling on our heartstrings, trying to use our moral conscience, and they're feeding off the energy of the Black moral conscience today. We got to come together. Racial animus, racial strife. No, all of this is you all. And we're no longer going to be your enabler. You know how you know when a sister, sometimes when they talk about women that's in abusive relationships and they make excuses for the man all the time. She keeps going back. That's y'all with white supremacy relationships. We finna stay out of that. That has nothing to do with us. Watch this. I've told you this before. I said we're in labor, right? I told you when a woman gets ready to have a child, it's pain. She's moaning. Sometimes they're even screaming, right? There's bloodshed. There's inconvenience. There's difficulty, right? The mother literally passes through death to give life. But that whole process, if you didn't know nothing about birthing, you would be thinking something terrible is happening. When in fact, that's a sign of her getting ready to bring a human being to birth. That's what's happening to us, family. The hell and the difficulty. We are in our finest hour, family, because we're getting ready to take room now. Don't let members of the dominant society trick you out of the highest and best place, your promised land. Because see, they know they're guilty. They want to tag along by pulling on the energy, Black melanin energy, pulling on your moral conscience, pulling on your emotions. And many of you let them do it because you said, fine, we're not even going to hold you accountable. You ain't got to worry about reparations. We're going to say my new president, our government, our democracy. Some of y'all look so crazy. When I see what Black people saying that, our democracy. Joy Reid just be talking. Every other word come out of her mouth. She talking about how much she a nerd, talking about American history and stuff. Girl, shut up. Joy Reid, her folks are immigrants too. Y'all know, again, I love my immigrant family. But again, Joy Reid has done some shady stuff to Black Americans. Joy Reid called us bots. Joy Reid went on a campaign while she was on MSNBC some time back to shut down the voices like ours, those of us that were descendants of American slaves, Foundation of Black America, demanding justice, demanding reparations. Our voices were rising on social media. It was her that were calling us bots so that she could help to influence, we believe, social media giants to shut us down and silence us. Yes, she did. Lomina. Yes, Lomina. Y'all know that's her real name, Lomina. I broke that down during the show. Lomina Romina. Thank you all. I'm missing some of your words here, but thank you all who are giving in your kind words. Thank you for being a bold, and powerful voice for our people and for the pretty smile. Oh, you're so welcome. Shout out to you, Spook TV, for your gift. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, like, and share, family. I'm not calling them out for no reason. I'm just simply saying, again, because Joy Reid has this foreign relationship. Her folks were immigrants. Joy is always trying to act like that the worst thing that ever happened is those illegals crossing the border and if them being separated from their families. Yes, that's horrible. Even if people are foreigners, you need to treat them with dignity. I'm all about that life. But when I don't hear you talking like that and showing up, y'all will show up at the border, talk about people that illegally tried to get into the country and the conditions of the detention center they're in. But I haven't seen any cameras in Parchman lately. Can we get some cameras at the prisons today? When I see black folks say that this is the worst thing that's ever happened in the Trump administration, Lomina Reed, Joy Reid, that's her real name, Lomina, before she changed it to Joy. White people told her they're going to give her a show. She said, oh, Joy, that's going to be my new name. Listen, that's how she came up with the name Joy Reid, from Lomina to Joy. Watch this. When I hear those types on TV say that the worst thing Trump did, the worst thing that happened in Trump's administration was the separation of those children and the pandemic. The only reason why we talking about the pandemic is terrible is because white people dying and it's uncontrollable and it's not a disease like diabetes to where it's more predictable or heart disease. I say that because the different medical pandemics, black folks have been dealing with disproportionate and outrageous black pandemics, and nobody in America said we all in this together when it was happening to us. Nobody said that this is the worst pandemic. Look at the number of black folks that die every year because of medical malpractice or because of medical issues. Nobody counted that as no big deal. It's only emergency because the white people is involved in it. I always get my medicine on this live, Queen Vicky. Thank you for your gift. Thank you for your kind words. Hit my spirit every time. Thank you, beloved. And I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Thank all of you. But it's true. And the moment you begin to love yourself, people will start telling you that you're being divisive. Okay, bye. Slowness. I'm not finna help you with your low self-esteem. Ain't nobody finna stop being great. That's what happens to you in your day-to-day life. The moment you decide that you're going to level up, the moment you decide you're going to start loving yourself, let me tell y'all something. When folks love to talk about be selfish, do everything for everybody, y'all know I'm a servant to my people. I'm a servant to humanity as much as I can be. Yes, for my own space and place, with a medical disability, from my laptop, using my cell phone. Reaching the world, my tribe. I don't take that lightly. So much work I've been doing over the many, many years that you can never know that I did in private and in public. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words and your gift. Listen, but what I do know is that dealing with this illness that I am determined to overcome, no matter what the doctors say, you come to know that not everybody don't care about you not feeling well most of the day. Not everybody gives a dog. People they gonna miss you for about 5 minutes, if that. Somebody talk black to me. Let's keep it real. People will forget you in a sneeze. They'll see something on the news, so-and-so's passed away. Okay, by the time they come out the shower, they done forgot you dead. What I have learned is I got to take care of me first. Love me first. Unapologetically. Lavishly. Because my experience on earth is not just about what's outside of me, but it's what's within. Plus, The more I love on me, the more I care for me, the better servant I can be to other people. People will forget you in 5, not tomorrow. They will forget you before the hour is over. They won't miss a beat in their lives. Again, that's order. That's balance. And in the same way we need to do that individually, that's the same way that the Black family needs to be collectively as it relates to everybody else. Because our elders, more than one elders. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has told us, and other Black elders have told us, at least last century, that we have no friends. And Black folks still trying to make friends. We still get excited when we see Lily White Joe Biden up there acting like that America finna for real come together. After he just cussed you out the other day. After y'all elected him for nothing. Love you, sister. You are a true blessing. Keep bringing the knowledge. You have no illness, it said the Lord. I'll receive it. Thank you. And I bless your gift 1,000-fold. As a descendant of American slaves. DOS stands for Descendants of American Slaves. Don't you forget it. They're not going to be up there remembering your ancestors. They talking about every other ancestors but your Black ancestors that made America. They quoting Abraham Lincoln like he's something to quote. Abraham Lincoln ain't nothing to quote. Abraham Lincoln said he signed an Emancipation Proclamation because for political expediency. Abraham Lincoln is on record. This is historical, but this is what the white supremacists cover up. They don't show you those quotes. They keep telling you, honest Abe freed the slaves. Abe said he only did it to save the Union. And if he could have done it without freeing the slaves, he would have. What's wrong with y'all? Thomas Jefferson and them, George Washington and them, they were pedophiles, racist, rapists, raping little girls. Your mama's an ancestor, slowness. This is the people that Joe Biden and them selectively quote. America congratulates and celebrates their killers. And then for 2 seconds when they acknowledge, oh, there's racial animus. There's racial strife. You guys see that as code word and you go to bucking like they acknowledge me. But yet they're crediting their pedophiles and slaveholders with being great people and having the vision for America. And you guys normalize that because it's being said and it's been done so long, you still go along with it. And you get mad at me when I say today, this ain't a day to get all emotional. They specifically brought those singers out to hit that note to play on your Black moral consciousness. I'm saying it is a time to celebrate for us, but it ain't for the same reason white America is celebrating. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm saying it is an amazing day for Black folk because it's a changing of the gods. It's now time for us to rule and do those very specific things that I just said a few moments ago. Are you hearing me? We must place a demand. We must expose every little thing Joe Biden's administration and Kamala Harris and the rest of them are doing. All of those Black elected leaders, you all need to exploit and leverage every single one of those relationships and be public with it and keep the pressure on. We must humiliate, expose, and demand that the Congressional Black Caucus do exactly what we tell them to do. We must support and elevate Black media, true Black media, not Black looking media. It's Uncle Roro, y'all. No, that don't count. Because he's still looking for a job at the White House and will sell you out tomorrow. Reparations, educate and build. There's so many other things that could be coming in the next few years under a Biden administration. I talked about this a long time ago, about global tragedy, about natural things that could take place that nobody ever expected. The white supremacist backlash that we still haven't seen yet. Things are rising in Israel. Many believe and know that they can sometimes instigate stuff over there and cause unnecessary wars to take place, which will turn around and try to drag America into stuff. These are all things that are going to be competing for the Black agenda. You've got to anticipate them and still overcome them. We must get tired of Black folks celebrating having won nothing. Some of y'all that's all emotional about today's lullaby. That's what the inauguration was. It was a lullaby. What is lullaby? When your mamas sing you a lullaby, why are they singing you a lullaby, family? 10 times out of 10, why is the mama singing you a lullaby? And I got to get ready to go after this. 10 times out of 10, when the mama is singing the baby a lullaby, why is mama singing you a lullaby? I'm looking for somebody to give me the answer. What is the purpose of mama's singing you a lullaby? That's to put you to sleep. To soothe you. To rock you back to sleep. Some of you, some of y'all needed was that inauguration today. All you needed yesterday was to hear Yolanda Adams hit a note. All some of y'all needed today was to see Garth Brooks up there, Jennifer Lopez, and seeing Barack Obama and Michelle Obama come down the steps dressed to the nines. She was dressed. But that's all some of y'all needed was those little, y'all saw them little remnants and reminders, and that's all y'all needed. It was over. Oh, God, I believe again, America. I believe again. 500 years of hell, rape, robbery, theft, murder, but I'll give it another shot. Think about that. Vicky's going to be here screaming, making sure that you don't go to sleep, making sure that you remain uncompromising, making sure that you remain unified as a people and that we push our agenda. This ain't just about you. And some of you may not have the spirit and the wherewithal to stop the coon sambo shakes. But I'm here today with my rehab for you. Before you go acting a fool and giving it all up on America, giving it all up for America all over again. Some of y'all are feeling the shakes. Y'all was feeling it hard today when they were singing Amazing Grace. When y'all saw Kamala up there taking her oath of office, Sonia Sotomayor gave her the oath. Watch this. Kamala did like this, remember? I heard one of the commentators say she made sure she intentionally did that because Kamala wants you to talk about how she intentionally stuck her chest out there. Some of y'all was like, that's it, girl. Look at her up there. Hair laid and stuff. Rockabye, baby. And think about the story that some of these lullabies. Think about that. Rockabye, baby, in the treetop. God, that day. Look at the stuff that they sing, they rock you to sleep with. Think about some of them lyrics. Y'all play too much. I gotta go. Rockabye, baby. What? In the treetop. What in the world is the baby doing at the top of the doggone tree? Why y'all laughing at me? Stop it. What does the next part say? When the wind blows. God, the day the cradle will go. Come on, God, the day the cradle go wrong. What's the next part? When the bow breaks. What in the hell is the bow doing breaking? What you got me up as the baby? What is the little bitty baby doing at the top of a tree? You prophesying when the wind blow, the cradle gonna rock. Get me the hell up out of here. I ain't going back to sleep. And whoever's rocking me to sleep, I don't trust the hand that's rocking me to sleep. That's why Vicky's here to scream at you and wake you up. Why y'all laughing at me? I don't see no words in the chat. Tell the truth. And stop singing them songs to your babies. Go on the job. When you see another one of them Sambos out there excited, say, rockabye, baby. Look, while you making you something to drink, Your wife is a straight up bone and biscuit. Don't holler, don't scream. Your husband, biggest Sambo you ever see. Look, rock-a-bye, baby. Can you hear me that, Stevie? In the treetop. What is you singing this? When the wind blows. Look right over. No, and no. We're not doing that. Vicky's gonna be the everlasting alarm and your faithful watchwoman, whether you like it or lump it. And only when you get to a level of glory and a piece of the promised land are you gonna say, oh my God, you gonna say, man. And it may be some other person in your life that means something to you. But for those of you that are part of the reason for which I was deployed to planet Earth, for those to whom I've been called, you will say, at this point in my life, I'm so glad Vicky snatched me up because I was about to drink the Kool-Aid and I would have settled for some crumbs. God, today! And I would have missed the glory. It wasn't easy. I didn't want to fight no more. I was tired. I was sick of seeing death. I was sick of seeing the stories. I was sick of poverty. I was sick of these different pandemics that we've been dealing with from day one. I was sick of the trauma. I was sick of depression. But thank God, this woman with the curly braids, screaming sometimes, smiling other times, flamboyant jewelry and clothes, that she halfway kept me and reminded me, don't you dare give in now. Don't you dare give up now. There's a greater glory. I love y'all. I got to get ready to go and get prepared for clubvicky.com. That's my weekly mastermind. You can still join for $1 for the first 30 days. Clubvicky.com. Do not forget, ladies, where my ladies at? Moderator, please put this website in the chat. And the rest of you, womenofwealthweekend.com. That's wow, WOWW. Womenofwealthweekend.com. The last Saturday, the last Sunday of this month, January 30th, January 31st, I'm going to be there, and too many other queens for me to name. 10 a.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern. Family, this is going to be a massive, wild conference of women only event featuring successful queens in business, money, and asset. Y'all, I got a spiritual, powerful word for you too. I'm amazed that I'm there because the amazing things that's happened in certain ways in my business over the last little bit, notwithstanding certain things. I am so excited to share with you some spiritual insight, but there are going to be so many other amazing queens. There's going to be queens here from Fly Nubian Queen. It says it's going to be hosted by business development strategist and CEO of Upscale, Nor Lene Javette. That's an amazing sister. Licensed clinical therapist and co-founder of Coaching with Dr. Alicia McLaughlin, wealth coach, Takesha artist. It's too many more, family. Just be there. Go to the website to learn more, womenofwealthweekend.com, womenofwealthweekend.com. Sisters, do not miss it. This is the very thing we need to do. If we're going to be talking about building a new promised land, a new reality where Black folks going to dominate, you better get ready. If it's written that the first shall be last and the last shall be first, and you know that we've been last and we're about to be first, you better get ready. Womenofwealthweekend.com. Follow me on Instagram, Vicky X Dillard. That's Instagram, Vicky X Dillard. My name is spelled V-I-C-K-I. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky. Thank you so much. I bow to you. Thank you for joining the Vicky Show. I hope to see you the rest of the week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here live on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you.